Hey, my name is Attorney Walter with Not the Third. I'm with Disability Resolution PA. Let's go through this article real quick because I think it hits on some basic details that are actually pretty strong here. Social Security doesn't even cover my entire rent. How retirees say Congress should change benefits. Let's go through this. This is a CNBC-based article. It was created on June 17, 2021, 3 p.m. Through Lori Konish. I have no idea with any of these names, how they're pronounced, and frankly, there's many of them I can't look up, and then I just don't have time to look them up anyways. But bottom line is, that's who wrote it. All right. It's no secret that Social Security is underfunded. Oh, everybody knows. And many Americans are struggling to scrape by on their monthly benefit checks. Now, congressional leaders have raised a key question on reforming the program. Should we vote now, or should we kick the can down the road? Said Rep. John Larson, Democrat, Connecticut, during a House Ways and Means Social Security Subcommittee meeting this week. Larson, who serves as chair of the subcommittee, posed the question to Julian Blair of Washington, D.C., resident retiree and veteran who testified during the hearing. Congressman, I say we should have voted yesterday, Blair said. The exchange highlighted the issue facing lawmakers now that President Joe Biden is in office, with Democrats also controlling the House and Senate. How soon can they address Social Security reform? Biden ran on a campaign platform touting big Social Security changes. Among his proposals is raising the minimum Social Security benefit to 125% of the federal poverty level. He also wants to eliminate rules that reduce benefits for those who also have certain kinds of pension income, known as the windfall elimination provision and government pension offset. This always, not just this right here, but some of those pension provisions for offsets, they get me sometimes because there were all these programs back in the day that didn't perfectly fit into the whole system. So they created this whole windfall elimination provision, but we'll do another video on that. Larson has also put forward his own proposal called the Social Security 2100 Act, which aims to expand benefits while extending the program's solvency into the next century. Both Biden's and Larson's plans will require some payroll tax increases, particularly for high earners, with the goal of providing bigger benefits to lower earners. To the shame of this nation, millions have worked all their lives, paid into a system, and receive a below poverty line check from Social Security, Larson said at the hearing. Currently, 4 in 10 Social Security beneficiaries rely on those checks or those benefits for most of their income, Larson said. The average retired worker receives $18,500 a year. Yet others receive payments below the poverty line, $12,880, particularly women and minorities. For Americans collecting Social Security who struggle to make ends meet, changes to increase the minimum benefit and get rid of rules that reduce monthly checks for those who also have pension income cannot come soon enough. This includes Blair, who started contributing to Social Security at age 15 while working summers at a tomato factory in Virginia. He went on to serve in the Air Force and Army and fought in Thailand during the Vietnam War following his military service. He held various positions at Corning Glassworks. Today, Blair calls Social Security a critical part of my income, but it still is not enough. Though I worked and contributed my entire life, my Social Security benefit is far too low to cover my monthly expenses, Blair said during his congressional testimony. In fact, my Social Security doesn't even cover my entire rent, he said. Thankfully, because of military service, I also receive a military pension, so I do okay, but not everyone else is so fortunate. Yeah, I want to point out there, with VA-based benefits, you get to stack those with civilian-based Social Security benefits. So essentially, military people are almost always doing almost double, usually, better than Social Security recipients. So I don't know if this was the best person to bring forward to make these arguments in front of these political activists or political legislators. And the reason why is that the VA people are usually doing significantly better than essentially a lot of the people who are getting Social Security disability benefits or Social Security retirement benefits. And the reason why is when you get the VA pension and you stack your Social Security benefits on top of it, you've got a little chunk. But when you're just getting Social Security retirement benefits, life is not okay. It's just not enough money to be able to live a basic lifestyle. Covering expense, so they should have just picked somebody who's not in the military because that would have showcased a far more severe situation. Covering expenses is also an issue for Kitty Ruderman of Queens, New York, who relies, here we go, on Social Security for the bulk of her income now that she's retired from her career as a legal secretary and administrative assistant. My rent alone exceeds my monthly Social Security payments, Ruderman said. I find myself skimping so much, watching where the pennies go. I have to be so very careful or I will soon eat up my meager savings, which I desperately need to supplement Social Security. It has become even more difficult to get by this past year, with prices for prescription drugs and groceries skyrocketing and Social Security benefits not keeping pace, she said. Getting by is also a struggle for those whose benefits those whose benefits have been reduced by the windfall elimination provision, according to Mary Windermere, a Houston-based retiree who worked in public education for 36 years. Windermere started working at age 16 and went on to attend the University of Houston and became a math teacher. Her career led to other roles, including high school assistant principal, director of staff development, and superintendent of human resources. Windermere also worked in the private sector for 21 years. However, the Social Security benefits she earned during that time were reduced through the windfall elimination provision, which is, that just needs to be gotten rid of in total because, well, but that's another video. She receives less than $120 per month, which goes automatically to cover Medicare Part B coverage, right? Because they charge you for the Medicare. There are thousands of people with similar stories, Windermere said. Most public servants, including teachers, take less money than they otherwise earn working in other industries. Now they face reduced retirement income. We are not asking for more than we paid into the system, Windermere said. We are simply asking for a more equitable formula. And that's because we pay in a lot of money and we get very little out of it. 2 separate bills sponsored by Reps Richard Neal, D. Mass, and Kevin Brady of Texas could help change that, Windermere said. A separate proposal, the Social Security Fairness Act, also has broad support. The Alliance for Retired Americans announced on Thursday the petition backing the bill has been signed by about 77,800 retirees. That's a lot of people. The legislation would eliminate the windfall elimination provision and the government pension offset, which reduces Social Security benefits for certain spouses, widows, or widowers, who also have federal, state, or local pensions. Admittedly, it may prove difficult to push through a broad Social Security reform bill that addresses all the issues the program faces and also draws enough support from both sides of the aisle. Consequently, Representative Tom Reed, Republican New York, suggested that lawmakers put together legislation including issues they can agree on now, such as protecting widows' benefits, rather than waiting for the perfect bill. Go with what we can agree upon today, Reed said. All right, so the purpose of that article is to showcase some of the major issues of people not getting, and this is what it all boils down to, enough money per month. When you retire, that means that you do not have any more income usually coming in from you physically working, right? And that means that you are then relying on essentially these programs to be able to feed you on a month-to-month basis, which is why Social Security benefits, all right, you get that. But did you ever think about this? Why we have it like that? We have it like that because the family system in America has been destroyed. We used to have a lot of people with farms. They would work the farms. People get older, right? They have something set aside. But the family would take care of that elderly person. That's how it used to work, right? That's how it was. But now the families aren't around. Now the kids have their own lives. Now, if they're lucky, they make it into an elderly home. If they're lucky, somebody might be there to go ahead and help them and take care of them. If they're lucky. I just want to point out real quick, we need to go back to families supporting families. Where we're going with this whole structure is removing the children from the family and having the government essentially become their new parent. That's not good either. We need to go back to families supporting families. We need to go back to a nation that produces, takes raw materials, makes products, and hopefully uses small companies and mid-sized companies to compete to go ahead and have those products be low in cost, high in value, and hopefully be very quality, of high quality. Okay, remember when things used to have a lifetime warranty? Can you think of anything that has a lifetime warranty anymore? I can't think of anything that has a lifetime warranty. The only thing I can think of that has a lifetime warranty is a piece of 316L stainless steel that's just a block, and they sell you a block. For the rest of the life, so long as you put it outside, you leave it somewhere, that'll have a lifetime warranty. It'll always be a block of metal, 316L stainless. It'll never rust, it'll just be a block. My point to you guys is this. There are base fundamentals as to why this system is not working properly. And they are cultural issues that have destroyed the fundamentals of small business capitalism. And people sell capitalism as evil. It is not evil. It is the only solution to be able to afford what we like to call the Social Security Administration. Because the Social Security Administration could not exist unless the IRS collected taxes from all these different businesses that were paying for it, right? A lot of you don't know that when you get your check, not only are you paying Social Security benefits from each check, but your company pays the same amount on top of that directly from their bank account to pay your Social Security benefits as well. So there's you paying and your company paying every time they cut a check to you. So the government gets 2 checks. All right. This can be fixed. But the problem is that we need to recognize what culturally worked. We need to recognize whether the future can go ahead and actually handle structurally a system that would be similar to that. And then we need to look at the reality of what we can't afford. And I think this is the year, maybe 2022, but I think this is the year where we're starting to ask the tough questions. And we are at a time. We are at a time for figuring it out. And here's the problem with this whole thing. We are now at a time because the Social Security Administration does not take in enough money per month in order to pay for what it has to pay for. We are now out of time because the COVID situation has greatly reduced the amount of income that all the people who would normally be working would pay in to the Social Security Administration. We're out of time. If you guys don't take more seriously looking at the legislation that's proposed to fix this system, you might live long enough to not receive your full benefits. So just think about that. All right. My name is Attorney Walter, if not the third, I'm with Disability Resolution PA. I will catch you a little bit later. Remember, I donate 2 hours, 8 to 10 every Thursday. I go live on YouTube, 8 to 10 p.m. If you want to catch up with me there, that's fine. If you want services with the law firm, call the law firm. But if you're just asking a question, make sure you call during that 8 to 10 p.m., not during the 9 to 5 with the law firm, because it just chock-a-blocks all the incoming calls and it just slows up the whole process. All right. My name is Attorney Walter Knott. Have an absolutely wonderful day, and I'll catch you later. Thanks so much. Bye-bye.